you and Upris this afternoon. So everyone, this afternoon we will have two distinguished speakers. The first speaker is Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintak, and the second from MMSU, and then the second speaker is Mr. Andi Priolistianto from UPTRIS. Okay, everyone, I would like to inform you that Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintek cannot join us this afternoon, but we will play his lectures recording, and then we will continue to Mr. Andi Priolistianto as our second speaker today. He will deliver his presentation maybe about 20 minutes, and then will be followed by Q&A session for about 15 minutes. Okay, so maybe I would like to ask for Mas Fajar to play Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintek's lecture. Mas Fajar, are you ready? Okay, maybe while we wait for Mas Fajar prepare the recording, I would like to uh, read the brief CV of Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintek. So, Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintek is an instructor one at the College of Teacher Education, Mariano Marcos State University, and digital media facilitator at the Center of Teaching Excellence. He graduated magna cum laude with a degree in technology and livelihood education, major in ICT, ranking second in his college and ninth in MMSU class of 2023. He is now pursuing his Master of Science in teaching at St. Paul University, Philippines. Mr. Balintek is a licensed professional teacher and holds several TESDA certification, along with credentials as an Adobe Creative Educator, book creator author, at Puzzle Coach, and Microsoft Educator. He is also a scholar of DOS GLSS and GBF Tech STEM Master Scholarship. He has delivered various trainings and lectures on AI in education, digital literacy, and innovative teaching strategies, and has presented in multiple national and international conferences. So that is the brief CV of Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintek. So I think now Mas Fajar can play the lectures recording of Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintek. Okay, Mas Fajar, are you still have some trouble in playing the recording? All right, while wait for Mas Fajar, maybe I would like to welcome to all the participants who just joined our program this afternoon. So everyone, ladies and gentlemen, we will have two speakers here. The first one is Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintek. And then the second speaker is Mr. Andi Priolistianto. So Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintek is the speaker from MMSU. And then Mr. Andi Priolistianto is our speaker from UPGRIS. Okay, it seems like our admin still tries to prepare the recording. So, for your information, that Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintech cannot join us this afternoon, but he sent a recording of the lectures to us this afternoon, and we will fly to you in a minute. Oh, okay. It seems like Mas Fajar still tries to prepare recording. Maybe we can we Sir Aziz, can we just switch between the recording, the lectures from Mr. Christian and Mr. Andy? Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, that's totally fine.
Oh,
I
okay.
told Miss
So I
Andy
would
as
like
well.
to ask, okay, I would like to ask Mr. Andy. Is that okay, Mr. Andy?
Thank you very much
To
for that
switch the time?
so generous
Oh,
introduction.
oh, okay. Here we go. I think the recording
Good day,
is
everyone. I
ready now.
am Christian Jeffrey G.
Is it,
Balintec, a
Mas Fajar?
college instructor from Mariano Marcos State University in the Philippines. Before anything else, I would like to thank the organizers of this international lecture series, particularly the key officials of Universitas Persatuan Guru Republik Indonesia Semarang and MMSU. Today, we will explore something very close to my heart: how technology and interactive strategies can truly transform the way our students learn. Whether you are teaching in a traditional classroom, a hybrid setup, or fully online, one thing is the same: students learn best when they are engaged. Again, students learn best when they are engaged, and through ICT, we now have powerful ways to do that. Here is what we will cover today. First, the role of ICT in education. Second, strategies for incorporating interactive elements. Third, benefits of interactive elements. And fourth, examples of tools you can use. And by the end of this talk, I hope you will walk away with practical strategies you can apply immediately. My dear participants, my dear listeners, please bear with me because I was given 20 minutes only to talk, but I will make sure that I will comprehensively explain my topic. Before we begin, let's warm up. Look at this classroom scenario. If you could describe it in one word, what would it be? Again, if you could describe it in one word, what would it be? Maybe quiet, disengaged, or even passive. This is the kind of learning environment we want to transform. As you can see, the students are disengaged and passive, they are bored, and this is the kind of learning environment we want to transform. Now, here is our next image. Again, describe this classroom scenario in just one word. Most of us will probably think of words like interactive, engaged, focused, or even motivated. And that is exactly what we want to highlight. As you can see, this picture shows a transformation. Students who are genuinely involved in the learning process because the teacher used interactive elements and digital tools. Would you be so kind to notice their posture, their attention, their expressions? And this is the kind of classroom where learning feels very alive. And this is the improvement we aim for when we integrate ICT meaningfully. Again, this is the improvement we aim for when we integrate ICT meaningfully. Here, we have the visual proof. On the left, we see the traditional chalk and talk classroom, while on the right side, we see the integrated classroom. The core teaching still happens, but the tools have empowered our learners to be active, hands-on, and highly engaged. As you can see, on the left, the traditional chalk and talk, and on the right, the learners are already active and they are enjoying their hands-on activities and they are highly engaged. Do you think integrating interactive elements is important in fostering active learning and engagement? For most of us, the answer is yes. But why is it important? And how do we do it effectively? That is what we are about to unpack. How do we do it effectively? That is what we are about to unpack. But let me ask you this. How can active learning and student engagement transform the way students learn? Research consistently shows students retain more when they are involved. They think more deeply when they reflect, discuss, and apply knowledge instead of just listening passively. One of the studies conducted by Yusuf 2023 explains that interactive strategies help students connect ideas more authentically. The research emphasizes also that active learning develops critical reflection, something even more important today with artificial intelligence tools that are already around us. Now, let's talk about the role of ICT in education. When we talk about ICT, we are not talking about the gadgets. Here, we are talking about the engagement, interaction, and meaningful learning. That is the role of ICT in education. Digital classrooms use tools like multimedia, mobile devices, and digital platforms to enhance teaching. These tools do not replace teachers. They empower teachers. Again, these tools do not replace teachers. They empower teachers. They allow us to explain concepts better, visualize ideas, and give students interactive tasks they genuinely enjoy. Digital classrooms have several important features. We can see accessibility, where students can learn anytime and anywhere, flexibility, wherein lessons can be adjusted for different learners, collaborations, wherein students can co-create documents, projects, and ideas, interactivity and innovation instead of just reading or listening, students get to do or to act. These features support the core of meaningful learning, the participation. Okay, and let's take a closer look to the interactive feature of the digital classroom as to where my discussion is anchored. When we say interactive, there should be an integration of interactive learning experiences. To make learning more engaging and stimulating for students, we need to integrate interactive learning experiences. But how are we going to integrate technology tools, specifically interactive elements, to make our classroom active and engaging? We have to make sure that the tools that we use are appropriate. And I have here is strategies for incorporating interactive elements. Based on TPAC framework, which is a technology integration framework that identifies three types of knowledge instructors need to combine for successful educational technology integration. We have technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge. There's a need for us to balance in selecting the right tool that enhances our teaching method and clarifies our content. And one of the best ways to guide technology integration is the TPAC framework. It includes three essential types of knowledge. First one is the technological knowledge. It refers to the tools that support learning. It is our knowledge about technology, on how we use technology. Next, we have pedagogical knowledge. It refers to the knowledge about the ways on how we teach. In short, pedagogical knowledge is how you teach. And when you say content knowledge, it refers to the knowledge about the subjects, the lessons, the concepts that we teach. Okay? So as simple as that. And the magic happens where all three overlap. When these three overlap effectively, that is effective technology integration. Okay? Because TPAC describes the knowledge about the tools and techniques you use to teach the content. That is the very essence of TPAC. Here are practical strategies for interactive learning. Choose the right technology. When we are choosing the right technology, we have to match tools with objectives. Second, we have to align pedagogy with technology. Don't rely on technology alone. We have to use activities that guide thinking. Next, we have to encourage active participation. We have to use tools that require input, that require action, not just viewing, in order for us to make sure that there is an active learning. Next, assessment and feedback tools. We can conduct quick checks to increase retention among students. And the fifth one, reflect and improve. Students' feedback helps you refine your technology use. You have to gather the feedback of your students. You have to gather their inputs, their suggestions in order for you to reflect and improve. So those are the practical strategies for interactive learning. Now, why should we invest in interactive elements? We have here the benefits of interactive elements. First, engaging content. Second, provides flexible learning. Third, saving time and cost. Fourth, adaptable lesson plans. And fifth, fun and enjoyment for students. In short, interactive elements help make content more engaging and enjoyable because they allow flexible learning wherein students can review, repeat, and explore at their own pace. They save time for teachers and it helps us adapt lessons quickly. And most importantly, they make learning fun. Okay? One of the most important benefits of interactive elements is the fun and enjoyment for students. Because when students are having fun and when they are enjoying the content or the activity you are presenting to them, they are more likely to be more engaged and participate inside the classroom and during discussions. Now, let's move to actual tools you can use right away. We have here examples of interactive elements. And these tools fall into four big categories. First one, collaborative platforms. Second, simulations and virtual labs. Third one, augmented reality and virtual reality experiences. And fourth one, gamification. Let's talk about each of these one by one. First, the Google Workspace, which is an example of collaborative platform. Google Workspace is perfect for real-time collaboration. One of the primary purposes of Google Workspace is for group work. Another one is feedback. We have submissions and even brainstorming. Okay, we can also use these platforms for lectures, group tasks, project making. Okay, we have Gmail, we have Google Sheets for data tasks, we have Google Drive wherein we can upload our files, we have Google Calendar to track our activities, the Google Docs for collaborative writing, we have also Google Chat, we have Google Forms for quick assessments, we have also Google Meet for online discussions. And these tools make students co-creators instead of passive listeners. Again, one of the examples of collaborative platforms is the Google Workspace. Next, we have Microsoft Tools. Microsoft Tools offers similar benefits as to the Google Workspace. We have Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel. We have also MS Outlook, MS SharePoint, MS OneDrive, MS Teams, and MS Whiteboard. I know we are very familiar with these tools, but let me just emphasize these collaborative platforms that you can use. We have MS Teams for discussions, OneDrive for sharing files, SharePoint for class materials, and Whiteboard for brainstorming. You use MS Tools when your institution already uses Microsoft 365. Why? Because it's already integrated and it is secure. Again, you use MS Tools when your institution already uses Microsoft 365. It is because it is integrated and secure. Next, we have simulations and virtual labs. When we say simulations and virtual labs, these are interactive tools that allow students to conduct experiments and explore concepts virtually. Okay? Here, we can allow students explore concepts virtually. These tools are especially effective when there is a lack of resources in schools because they provide opportunities for hands-on learning without the need for physical materials or lab spaces. Here, students can experiment, manipulate variables, and observe outcomes in a safe, controlled virtual environment, which make learning more accessible and engaging. My dear participants, as much as I want to comprehensively discuss each of these platforms and demonstrate how these can be used, I was only given 20 minutes to talk. But you have nothing to worry about because I will be providing a link later on that you can access for you to watch the demonstrations. Examples of simulations and virtual labs are the following. We have PhET, we have Explore Learning Gizmo, and GeoGebra. Let's talk about each of these one by one. First, the PhET Interactive Simulations. It is a platform offering free science and math simulations to enhance learning without hands-on virtual environment. I mean, to enhance learning through hands-on virtual experiments. I'm sorry. When we say PhET, it offers free science and math simulations. This is very great for topics like electricity, forces, and even chemistry. We can use this platform when students struggle to imagine abstract concepts. Next, we also have Gizmo. It is an extensive library of interactive math and science simulations designed for grades 3 to 12. It is paid but powerful. Again, it is ideal for grades 3 to 12 science and math explorations. You can use this platform when you want structured inquiry-based simulations. Again, Gizmo is an extensive library for interactive math and science simulations. Next, we also have the GeoGebra. It is an it is a free open source tool for interactive geometry, algebra, statistics, and calculus visualizations. It is very amazing and suitable for geometry, algebra, and calculus. We can use this for visualizing formulas and interactive problem solving. Okay. Next, we have here the AR and VR, or augmented reality and virtual reality. Let's differentiate the two. When we say augmented reality, it adds digital elements such as images, videos, and even 3D models to the real world using devices like smartphones, tablets, or AR glasses. I will be showing you how this augmented reality works later on. And when we say virtual reality, it immerses users in a fully digital environment through a headset, which replaces the real world with a virtual simulation. So in short, augmented reality enhances the real world because it adds digital elements, while virtual reality creates an entirely digital world. Augmented reality adds digital elements to the real world, and virtual reality creates an entirely digital world. Examples of AR and VR are the following. We have Google Arts and Culture, Google Earth Virtual Reality, and Tilt Brush by Google. Let's discuss each of these one by one. First, the Google Arts and Culture, which is a free platform providing access to virtual exhibits, high-resolution artworks, and cultural artifacts from museums worldwide. Okay? Through this platform, students can already explore museums and even cultural sites right from the classroom. Okay, they can zoom in or zoom out artworks and read interesting details of uh, such artworks or artifacts. So just imagine without going to the actual physical environment or physical location, you can already explore museums and cultural sites. And that is one of the best features Google Arts and Culture platform could offer. Next, we have Google Earth Virtual Reality. This is a virtual reality extension of Google Earth, which allows users to explore the globe in immersive 3D. Why? Because it lets students travel the world, see cities, landscapes, and climate changes up close, even even without going to the actual location. Because through this Google Earth virtual reality, students can already travel the world. So just imagine how powerful Google Earth virtual reality is. And again, we can use this for to allow our students to travel the world or to explore the world. Okay, so that is Google Earth virtual reality. Next, we have the Tilt Brush by Google. It is a VR painting tool that lets users create 3D artworks in a virtual space. Okay, so here students can paint and create in 3D. And this platform can turn the ideas of students into an immersive art. That's why we can really say that these tools let students experience learning digitally. So again, just like what we have mentioned a while back, that even though the students cannot go to a particular place, they can use different platforms such as the Google Earth virtual reality to travel the world or visit a particular place. Okay, so those are the examples of virtual reality and augmented reality. Next, let's proceed to the gamification. Okay, I know you are very familiar with this, but let me just explain it further or just give a simple run through. Okay, we have Kahoot, Quizzes, Edpuzzle, and Word Wall. First, let's talk about Kahoot, which is a game-based learning platform for creating quizzes, polls, and surveys to make learning fun and interactive. Kahoot offers competitive quizzes. Okay, this is perfect whenever you are conducting reviews or you want your students to get energized. Okay, we can use this to make them more engaged whenever we are inside the classroom. So that is Kahoot, a game-based learning platform for creating quizzes, polls, and surveys to make learning fun and interactive. Next, we have quizzes. This is similar to Kahoot. Okay, it is an engaging platform for creating quizzes and interactive games with options for self-paced or live learning. Okay, it offers self-paced quizzes that are great when students need to practice and master concepts at their own speed. Okay, we can make quizzes here to to let our students practice and master concepts at their own speed. Okay. Next, we have Edpuzzle. It is a tool for adding questions, notes, or quizzes to videos, allowing teachers to track student engagement and understanding. This platform, okay, turns any video into an interactive lesson so students are thinking while they watch. So just imagine this scenario that students are watching a video and it suddenly pauses because there's a question that will pop up and the students are required to answer that question before they can be allowed to proceed to the next parts of the video. So that is Edpuzzle. It turns any video into an interactive lesson so that students are thinking while they are watching. Okay? Next, we have Word Wall, which offers quick, fun activities like matching, sorting, or puzzles that mix things up in class. It's a versatile platform for creating interactive activities like quizzes, matching games, and word searches to enhance learning. Okay? We use these platforms whenever we want to check the understanding of our students and break the monotony or just energize the class. Okay? Because we cannot deny the fact that at some periods of time, students get to be bored because they feel so sleepy. And these scenarios happen usually at 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So it's very advisable. It's advisable for us teachers to use these platforms to break the monotony and energize the class. Okay, so those or the examples of interactive elements. We have the collaborative platforms, the simulations and virtual labs, the AR and VR, and the gamification, which we can effectively utilize to facilitate effective learning. Okay, so my dear participants, we are now almost at the end of my presentation, and to have a recap, we explored the role of ICT in education. We talked about the strategies for incorporating interactive elements. We also discussed the benefits of interactive elements and, of course, the examples of interactive elements. Okay, so as promised, I will provide you the tutorial videos that you can access by scanning this QR code or by accessing the link flashed on your screen. Okay, again, kindly scan the QR code or access the link flashed on the screen to access the tutorial videos of the digital platforms I presented a while back. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, please take a screenshot or take a picture of this slide so that you can access the tutorial videos. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. Okay, and I want to end with a powerful quote from John Dewey. It says here, if we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. What does this mean? This simply means that sticking to old ways of teaching can limit our students' future opportunities. Okay, again, this means that when we stick to old ways of teaching, we are limiting our students' future opportunities. As educators, we need to keep up with the times. We have to embrace new technologies and use them in our classrooms, because doing so helps prepare our students for the modern world, and it makes learning more engaging and equipping them with the skills they will need for tomorrow. Again, we should not stick to old ways of teaching, because if we are doing that, we are limiting our students' future opportunities. We need to keep up with the times and embrace new technologies. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you for having me. God bless us all.
All right. Wow, what a very interesting lectures. Okay, everyone. So now we are moving to our second speaker from UPGRIS, Mr. Andi Tianto. Mr. Andi, have
Yes,
you joined us already? Oh, yeah. Here he is. Okay, Mr. Andi, thank you so much for coming this afternoon. But before Mr. Andi deliver his presentation, let me read his brief CV. So, Mr. Andi Priolistianto MCom is a lecturer in the Information Technology Education Department at Universitas PGRI Semarang, UPGRIS, where he also serves as the program secretary. And then he holds both as bachelor's and master's degree in computer science. And then his academic interests include decision support systems, artificial intelligence, and technology enhanced learning, particularly the development of Android based learning media. He has presented and published research in national conferences and journals under UCRIS, and he maintains active scholarly profiles on Google Scholar and ResearchGate. He teaches several information technology courses, including data communication, and has contributed to educational innovation through instructional media development and copyrighted digital learning materials. Okay, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Andi Priolistianto. Mr. Andi, time's yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. V, Mr. Azizul, Mr. Prince, for me to present at this forum. Uh, my little TikTok first time in software etc. Okay. Mr. Azizul and Miss Devi and Mr. Christian. Anything learning with TikTok. Uh, sorry. In the context of vocational education in vocational high school, the basic software and game development is a crucial foundation in preparing students complete in the information technology-based industry. Okay, the material in uh, this course, particularly that relates to computer system. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. One relevant strategy to implement is introducing the width feature on the TikTok platform as a short video-based learning medium, reorganizing the mathematics into a series of interconnected videos and presenting them systematically, teacher and transform learning into a lecture yet informative experience. Complex topics such as CPU operation, memory management, and operating system classification can be explained in animative visual that are easier to understand. Responding to the demand of the times and changing student characteristic, developing learning media based on the TikTok science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM. Fit feature is a static step that is highly appropriate for implementation in this basic software and team development subject, particularly in computer system in 10 years grade for collision Higgs schools. Yeah, this operates not only help convert complex material, but also creates a more contextual, adaptive, and enjoyable learning environment. This media combines the power of TikTok visual technology with the STEM approach, enabling students not only to understand the material, but also to think critically and creatively in their learning process. This innovation aligns with vocational education in their learning process. This innovation aligns with vocational education of effort to produce graduates who not only master content, but also pass digital and collaborative skill. Here is a complete explanation of the thinking framework. On the image you're attached, which explains the logical flow of the research on the development of TikTok STEM fit-based learning media. This problem identification. Sorry. The first step of the thinking frame is to identify the problem that occur in the field. This problem includes the need for the development of learning media that not only conveys material effectively, but is also able to arouse student interest and involvement. Here are some takeaways from problem identification. In media development, this solution, as solution to this problem, TikTok STEM feed-based learning media was developed. This medium is specially designed for precision computer system material in short videos, engaging and execute video format using TikTok STEM feed filter. Unified STEM approach in content development so that learning is skill-based and conceptual understanding. Adjust to the characteristics of a student in class who are active on social media and more response to interactive digital content. And evaluation. Evaluation is an important part of the media development process. These evaluations are to determine the strength and weakness of the development media, as well as to be the basis for improvement before is widely asked. Evaluations are conditioned into from the media expert validation development will be tested by material expert or student response constituent to find out how effective and interesting the media use. For implementation, as the media is declared by expert, the next stage is implementation in real case. This implementation is also an opportunity to test the effectiveness of media in the context of real learning. Learning media will be used directly by teachers and students through the TikTok platform. Will later in the following will be carried out. One, teachers share material through STEM and video feeds in TikTok. Two, students listen, responding, and work on quizzes through TikTok. Result? The final result of this development in this composition of TikTok STEM feed-based learning media that meets the following criteria. One, can be used directly in learning, subject computer system material. Two, proven to increase student engagement, make learning more engaging, and make it easier to understand complex material. TikTok New Learning Frontier. Explore how TikTok like feature and revolutions learning in software and game development. Fostering engagement through short-form interactive media. This approach leverages familiar digital interface to deliver complex STEM concept effectively. You understand TikTok appeal? In TikTok, algorithm-driven personalized content feeds to short-form engaging video format and user-generated content, UGC, and trends, interactive features foster community. And STEM in short-form videos. TikTok often present complex STEM ideas through bite-sized experiment, educational hacks, and problem-solving challenge. This format faster visual learning and rapid concept absorption. However, depth and nuanced understanding can be saved for virality, impacting educational efficiency. And software dev TikTok features. Okay, TikTok feeds software code snippets, algorithm visualization, and project demonstration. Fostering informal learning, the spatial assembly STEM principle through practical software development application. algorithmic content creation. For you page in TikTok algorithm, sophisticated recommendation engine offer a compelling model for personal STEM learning paths. By curating content based on engagement, it can adaptively deliver programming tutorial and challenge. This foster in the individualist skill development and deeper measuring. Interactive STEM engagement. TikTok as a collaborative software sandbox. Yes, comment, debugging, feedback, interactive free phenomenon that code branching, parallel development, and stitch, modular design, API integration, and collaborative problem solving in dynamic environments. And this teamwork and talent integration in collaborative learning environment. Okay, micro-learning code tutorial. TikTok sub-form video format is ideal for micro-learning learning software development. This consists tutorial can demonstrate specific coding concept or debugging technique. This adaptation fosters accessible on-demand skill acquisition. This visual algorithm and data. Dynamic algorithm visualization. Leverage TikTok like effect for dynamic algorithm animation. Illustrate complex process like sorting, example, quick sort or pathfinding with engine visual flow and transition. This interactive data structure or structure demos. Transfer abstract data structure into interactive visual models. Show operation on linked list, trees, or graph using intuitive short form video format for enhanced comprehension. Is gamified learning challenge. Leverage TikTok dynamic trend to create gamified coding challenge. Students can debug viral code snippet or develop solution for trending TikTok problems. This approach fosters problem solving and algorithm thinking through engaging relevant puzzle. This community-driven dev project, TikTok collaborative feature and faster community-based software development project and peer learning among university students, enhancing practical application and skill development. Simulating system interaction. Leverage TikTok dynamic feed structure to simulate form like computer system interaction. Visualize data flow, processing schedule, and network protocol through engaging short from content. This approach enhances understanding of system architecture and operational dynamics. Enhancing student engagement. TikTok like feature leverage short from video and interactive element. Fostering active participation, this dynamic format capture attention, making complex computer system concept more digestible and relatable. It promotes intrinsic motivation for deeper learning. And broader learning accessibility, this media democratizes access to educational content and overcoming traditional barriers. Visual and auditory learning style are accommodated and content can be consumed on diverse devices. It caters to varied learning pace and preference. Okay, benefits. What's benefit in TikTok STEM? Active learning and creativity. Yes, hands-on content creating deepens understand and promote computational thinking through problem solving. And 3, encourage innovative solution for the same challenge. And 4, develop digital literacy and media writing skill. This picture students create and learn in a vibrant collaborative classroom. Okay, visualizing abstract concept. TikTok like Feed excel at visual storytelling. Complex computer concept like data flow or network protocol become digestible track in animate diagram simulation or short demonstration. This visual modality enhance comprehension and retention for university student. Concise explanation and engagement. The brief, focused nature of these features force clarity. Instead of lengthy text, core ideas are presented directly. This form foster active engagement, making daunting topics such as operating system principle or algorithmic logic more approachable and less intimidating. The future of social learning? How can platforms like TikTok, with their dynamic short-form content and algorithmic creation, be ethically and effectively integrated into university-level computer system curriculum to enhance engagement and foster collaborative learning, while mitigating potential distraction? Conclusion: TikTok offers novel engagement for STEM education. Okay, and two, its feature enable personalized interactive learning. Three, short form content simplifies complex concept. Four, foster active learning and community project. And five, point to a future of dynamic educational media. Okay, thank you for your attention in this forum. Come back, Miss Devi.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Andy. Okay, everyone. Let's go now to the Q&A session. But before we go to the Q&A session, let me inform you, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, you can fill the attendance link that we have dropped in chat box. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can drop your questions in chat box, and or you can unmute your microphone and ask directly to our speakers today. I'm sorry, Sir Aziz. Has Mr. Christian joined us already now? Or maybe the participants can send the questions via email.
Well, okay. I didn't see Mr. Christian right now, so probably we go to the Q&A for Mr. Andy, and I'm still waiting for the email from Mr. Christian. If I got his email, then I will drop it in the chat box.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Aziz. Or maybe even though maybe just in case we didn't get the email from Mr. Christian, you still can drop your question in chat box, and then we will try to forward your question to Mr. Christian later, maybe tomorrow. Okay. Any question, please? Please don't be shy. You can unmute your microphone and ask directly to Mr. Andy. or maybe if your question is addressed to Mr. Christian, you can drop your question in chat box and we will try to forward your question via email tomorrow to Mr. Christian. Sir Aziz, maybe you want to ask some questions maybe to Mr. Andi?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I have a question for Mr. Andy. Well, it's really interesting to, like to use TikTok as one of the media during learning process to deliver learning process. I just want to know about the practical implementation for using TikTok to enhance like the student creativity and student problem solving during the classroom. Maybe Mr. Andy, you can explain to us and how a student, I mean, in what stage when the student needs to use TikTok during the classroom practice? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Andi. Maybe you can
Okay,
answer
okay, thank you,
directly about
Mr.
Mr. Aziz's question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Azizul. This this TikTok for STEM practically in my class and my research student is make one content or more content to uh, uh, teach us be as teacher. Then is example, my student make content from uh, formula from Pythagoras or formula for uh, this. Okay, set as example then. This example. And my student from uh, okay, the same topic from Pythagoras theory or format Pythagoras. Uh, Here are make videos or content to TikTok, and I I am to evaluation this proportional or no, and this uh, mathematical maths for maths with theoretical. And for me, if materi um, okay, then materi to make materi to content or yes, videos for uh, teaching. I'm evaluation, I'm implementation, then uh, my my student for makes again uh, for follow up my evaluation. And if my student from uh, follow up my evaluation, then my student are from report. there's a report for me. This Mr. Andi evaluation for you and follow up from me from my videos or my content. This and TikTok content TikTok from yeah, create by my student is good, very good. Uh, yes, very good. Lebih bagus daripada saya yang bikin gitu loh Pak Agus. Bener, lebih bagus. Banyak beberapa hal gitu loh, lebih bagus. Oke Pak.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andy. Yeah, I think like the
Okay, I
young
hope the
student.
explanation
Yeah,
is clear enough for you, Sir Aziz.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Okay, it seems like we have already the email address of Mr. Christian. So, ladies and gentlemen, if maybe you have questions addressed to Mr. Christian, you can send your question via email. Mr. Aziz has dropped the email in chat box. Okay, maybe another question. One more, maybe. One more question, maybe. Anyone? Okay, I think there's no more questions. So let me inform you again to fill the attendance link in chat box because the certificate will be sent based on this Google form. Okay. All right. So maybe it's time to award a certificate to our speakers. Maybe we can start. Sir Aziz, is it still necessary to show up the certificate for Mr. Christian?
Yeah, I think it's totally fine.
Oh, okay, all right. So, Mas Fajar, maybe we can show up the certificate of appreciation to our first speaker, Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintech. Oh, okay. All right, maybe we can start with Mr. Andy first. So, this is the certificate of appreciation proudly presented to. Oh, okay. So, okay, change. Okay. Okay, so this is the certificate of appreciation proudly presented to our first speaker, Mr. Christian Jeffrey Balintek. And then, okay. And then the second one, certificate of appreciation, we proudly presented to Mr. Andi Priolistianto, MCOM. Thank you so much, Mr. Andi. All right, everyone. I think that's it. Our lecture series for today. But let me remind you that tomorrow we still have a session on 19/11/2025. Okay, so that's all. Thank you so much for the committee. Thank you so much for the distinguished speakers. Thank you so much for all the participants. I am Dewi Wulandari, serves as your moderator. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank
Waalaikumsalam.
you. Mabuhay. Good afternoon. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you very much, Miss Devi.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow, Sir Aziz.